the girl you're actually talking to is making you give up on habits that make you authentic, then probably it's obvious that she's trying to make you weak. She's trying to make you emasculated, basically make you feel less powerful than you are. And let's be honest, it's been going on for decades. Now, recently, a friend of mine came to me and was talking about how he's now fat, he's now lazy, trying to get back to the gym is a problem. And I was like, why did he leave the gym in the first place? He was like, he really can't tell. Then I remembered my story. My cousin's story went like this. He got into a relationship. One day he traveled with his girlfriend. They came back. He was like, she was talking about how he doesn't always have to go to the gym. Before you know it, he missed one day. That day ran into a Sunday. He missed 2 days. Monday, he just felt like he would go on Tuesday. And that's how it never went for months. And months turned into close to a year. And I asked this guy, were you in a relationship like recently? He was like, no, but he was talking to a girl and trying to get into a relationship with her. And I was like, wait, you didn't even get into the relationship with her, but yet you lost those things that made you self-attractive. I'm like, now it began to make sense that, bro, when you move into a girl's space, she tries everything she can to make you soft, feminine, emasculated. And then the moment you actually become these things, she leaves you. And that's why I remember reading a part of this book about how to, it's an art of seduction that says, you cannot seduce somebody that does not want to be seduced. Then it now makes more sense that the only reason these guys are being emasculated is simply because, or the only reason you might be emasculated is because a part of you wants to be emasculated. And trust me, one thing I'll tell you, brother, is that if a woman is successful at emasculating you, making you soft, making you weak, she is walking away from your life. She has two options. Either she walks away from your life, or she begins to control, she begins to manipulate you, she begins to use you to get what she wants. But deep down, she's not really giving you her best version, right? And this is where you see situations where the guy thinks he's happily dating this girl, but she's actually giving him other man's kids to raise. Do you know how crazy such stories are? And it's from ideas like this. So, brother, in this video, I hope to give you ideas that are practical to make you not be emasculated. And again, there's something else that I see, right? On the other hand, we had the red pill space that's giving men sort of vague and bad advice to prevent them from being emasculated. So by the way, let's start with why do women do this behavior now. I'll first of all start with evolution psychology. That is how it benefits them in the long run. For a typical example is women believe that as a man, when you keep doing things that make you attractive, other women come into your space, other women want to have you. In that process, she doesn't, she just feels like you might be with her today and tomorrow you may find somebody else that's more attractive after she's probably giving birth. So she wants a situation where she feels like she is secured. She has locked you down. What that means is you're the guy when she gets pregnant, and this is I'm talking about real reality here. I'm not referring to some red pill trash. So she sees that when she gives birth, she needs someone to protect her. She needs someone to stand by her. So, bro, she will try her possible best to. It's like taming the beast. I think this whole entire concept is about taming the beast. So she'll try to get you to invest in it, which is of good intentions because it is the family that's exactly what men want. Men want a family. So yeah, that's the good side of it. But thanks to modern day ideas and the way it has spun things around, what is basically happened today is what we have is women want to have control and leverage over the man, over the relationship. You see, and that's why some women they like to have guys as backup. So she can control you, she can see you as a backup, she can use she can leverage herself against you. So modern day women these days are in full competition with weak men. And again, like I've said, you can only be emasculated if a part of you wants to be emasculated. You can only be weakened if a part of you wants it to be weak. Sometimes, for some women, they see it more as a challenge. See this guy now. Look at the way he is. I can bet you I can change him. Literally speaking, that's a story that I'm not entirely sure I've told on my YouTube channel, right? But I think I mentioned it in my on my short form platform. But okay, so this is it. One of my guys says that this babe wants to meet me because he introduced her to my content, so she wants to meet me. So I met her, we began talking, she's a feminist, we exchange ideas, we debate on topics and everything, which was then I was much more naive and stupid. I kind of realized that, no, I kind of knew that I can't change people's mind, but again, it's always good to listen to the other side, to see things that you did not see before. So we've been talking for months, kind of got intertwined in some weird stuff. And then some weird events happened. I had to cut her off. Then I was talking to this guy who introduced us. And he's like, what happened? Why do you guys stop talking? He says, it felt like she's trying to manipulate or change me. And she was like, and he was like, oh yeah, she said she could. When he showed her my content, her first comment was, I bet I can change him. And I'm like, bro, what that means is if you don't want to change your mind, it is not going to happen. Bro, so if you stay with me, I'll be telling you what you can do because I felt like this is not by me playing gimmicks. This is by me being my most authentic self, right? Because let's be honest, like I've said, the moment a woman is successful at changing you, at manipulating you, at emasculating you, she's leaving you because she is no longer attracted to you anymore. What is not the same thing. It's what they most likely undo when they are not settled with the woman. So it's like a lot of guys. That's why I tell guys, please, before I get into it, guys, stop doing things for women. Do them for yourself. There's a reason why women that want genuine partners. If you listen to them when they say, "I want this in a partner," and when the guy says, "I will change for you, I'll learn it for you," if you notice, women never agree to it because to them, it is forced. To them, it is inauthentic. Women want men who are already made, men who already figure out these things, right? If they can't get these men, they begin to get men who they can use as what as like they can use as fathers to raise their kids. While they desire and they still they secretly desire the other men. So how do they do this? There are several ways that women actually emasculate men. There are several ways. One I'll say is one, the typical one is trying to change you. Like the other lady the other day who I would say whose story I just mentioned right now. So how I knew she was trying to change me was for some weird reasons we could be talking about some things and she's bringing up certain content that she wants me to watch and give my opinion about. She's telling me to, she's like, I want to hear your opinion on something. Okay, I'll give my opinion. And she wants, and she goes along with things like, I want it to, and I'm like, why? I'm like, make it make sense. And the irony is that every time I kept on questioning her ideas, everything was falling to pieces. It's like, oh, no, I didn't mean that. No, if you're trying to be with someone, so how they do this, they'll try to gaslight you because I saw all of that. I saw gaslighting. I saw things like before it that became into I think we even she tried to get into a relationship and I was like, I'm not sure I want a relationship with you. And then it felt bad, but she probably tried other ways. But the whole point is they'll try to change you. They'll try to nag, bring up unnecessary drama. They start seeing the things that you enjoy as trash. For example, now they can say, okay, why are you going out with the boys? Like my cousin said, that statement of there's no point going to the gym. We just got back from a travel, rest. Rested on a Saturday, then a Sunday, on a Monday, right? He was calling her up, and before you know it, it snowballed. Days turned into weeks, weeks into months, and months into almost a year out of the gym, always eating. Bro, my cousin's body was not it at all. And this is somebody, we're age mates, he's a year older than me, and this is somebody who I would say we were inspired together to go to the gym because we had like uncles like who are like muscular and built. So, bro, speaking of, I have uncles that are muscular and built. Of the two uncles that made me hit the gym, right? I mean, like, we're working out when I was much younger, so that impression was on me to lift weight. One of them right now is soft, right? Has completely changed after he had a family, and it's almost like I said it. If you don't, why the other uncle is still buff, still strong, still looks fucking manly, even after having two daughters. So that guy has a solid frame. And that's what I'm trying to get you to have in this video. A solid frame. How does the women do this? By withholding sex. Bro, this girl tried it. She tried it. She tried it. And this is why I tell men, you have to be fucking disciplined when it comes to sex. She tried it. But the irony was that I never really saw it that way. Because I felt like she was genuinely tired. I felt like she was not really in the mood. And one thing I always say is that if she's not in the mood, never beg for it. If she's not wet, never beg for it. Do you know how crazy it is when she's not wet for you? I don't know how you guys do it. But, bruv, it's not, that's all I would say. So, they withhold sex. They withhold good emotions, right? I feel like you have to do X, Y, and Z for me to give you sex. You have to do X, Y, and Z for me to show you love, for me to show you affection, for me to let you realize that you are safe, you are loved, for me to open up my... And again, as guys, that feminine love is very interesting. I'm not here to like discard it. It's very interesting. That that them women being in their feminine energy, you just vibing with them. It's very interesting. It's very good. But if she begins to weaponize it, and there's a problem somewhere, it's obvious that she's trying to control you. She's obvious that she's trying to change you, something that you are not yet. Right? Again, if she weaponizes sex, the other way is emotional manipulation. It comes with phrases. It comes with what do you call it? Yeah, phrases. If you love me, you will do X, Y, Z. It comes with gaslighting with things like you are the only man who have ever loved like this. Bro, I literally have a guy I have right now who, when we talk, it talks about the girl that he's with. They're dating quite alright, but they're kind of like being together. Wink, wink, you get my point. And he keeps talking about how when they're having sex, she keeps trying to get the guy to affirm her. Tell me you will be with me. Tell me you will be with me. It's like, ah. And to him, it's like, well, we're acting drama, so let's act the drama. But sometimes she tries to get him to make promises during sex. Bro, that is all manipulation. And the guy is like, well, he's just watching her right now because he knows that it's not going to happen. It's not going to end well. Again, this is somebody who realizes that it's control. It's not love. But so many guys out there will say, okay, you know what? Well, it's love. It's her love language, bro. It's all a weapon. It's a tool. When it comes to emotional manipulation, things like, you're the only man who I've ever loved. My bro said that she said this to him. My guy is like, no, it's a lie. And that's a very big fat lie. He knows it's a lie. And some guys will know whether it's a lie or not. Because to some extent, as guys, we have this voice at the back of our head that has emotions and logic. I can tell you, bro, that statement is a big fat lie. That's why women, one thing women do is love bombing. They won't let you breathe. They'll keep showing you affections back to back. Sometimes it's actually a tool. Now, I'm not here to say, oh, a woman showing you affections is a problem. No. The women who really love you will show you affection regardless. But the women who want to manipulate you will use the exact same tactics to get you. To get the point. And that way is having unnecessary behaviors. Now, let's even pick this my guy. So this my guy. I won't call his name, but if he watches this video, he knows himself. He watches my videos. So every time there's always a new drama about this babe. So when we talk on, maybe some days we talk for like an hour or 30 minutes. We talk. So after like 30 minutes of discussing business, the deal he just got, the deal he just lost, maybe ideas that he saw somewhere, the next 15 minutes, 20 minutes is a drama about this babe. I'm like, guy, you do realize that very soon you have to leave this baby. He said, yeah, he knows that. I'm like, bro, guy, don't get hooked. Again, one thing I always do is whenever I see guys who are in such situations, it's not my business. To be very, very frank, I mean, I won't tell you what to do because every single guy knows what to do. I will only remind you of, bro, you do realize that you're just putting yourself, you're getting yourself in something that you can't end. Or sorry, may not end well. And he says, don't worry, he's sharp, he's a sharp guy. So again, he's talking about how she's always bringing up dramatic scenes. Again, so speaking of drama, one thing I've come to realize is when it comes to dealing with women with drama, it's not about shouting at them. It's not about playing the drama, right? Especially feminine women. Ever since I changed my mind to feel like this is more like kids, right? But you don't want to shout at. This is what I do. This is what I did recently when one girl I was talking to tried to bring up drama. Like, but I was like, this if you no, drama was about if you love me. No, it's not. She made that statement. If you love me, you will do the X, Y, and Z. It's almost like, okay, do you mean? Are you saying? I'm like, see, I'm not. I don't have time for this drama you're about to play out right now. You see, I have a lot of tasks that I'm supposed to be doing, but I carved out this time to be with you. But if you say you want to cause drama, you might as well excuse me to go and do that task. I want to for sure is that drama sort of died down, and we kind of like watched the movie, and that's how everything just died down. You see, if women will bring up dramas to even test you, right, to see if you fold. Now, if I didn't do that, I'd have done the playful option. I'd have danced with the drama, played with it. But sometimes, if you get to react to those drama, right, is them trying to control it, because women realize that to women, any emotion is a chance to manipulate. Whether you're angry, whether you are bitter. That's why I say, bro, you have to be stoic. You just have to be stoic. You have to be stoic as fuck. Again, one thing you should also realize is, on the other hand, women would always test men, because when women test you to know whether you are man enough, whether you are what you say you are, right? So it will be test upon test, and test never ends, because I've seen guys who have gotten solid frames and they've come into relationships. But I feel like maybe marriage is a complete disaster. But again, we also have all these modern ideas that are making men also weak, like happy wife, happy life. What does that mean? What that basically means is everyone should sacrifice their entire happiness for the happiness of their wife. Speaking of happiness of wife, I remember getting into this argument with a guy, right? But now he's red pilled. I said that statement is complete garbage. What that means is everybody should sacrifice their entire happiness just for the wife. I said no. Why can't everybody be happy? And if there are six people in a picture and one person is not happy, she'll be fine. So, bro, ironically, this guy keeps bringing up stories of how the mother keeps bringing up drama, and I'm like, heck, I just hope you don't end up like that. So, what should you do as a man? I said, as a man, don't get into a relationship until you build solid frame, until you have built a solid frame for yourself. You see, one thing I've seen about these dating gurus online is they give you advice, they give you practices that works. Guess what? But when you practice these things, the reality is when you practice these things, they sort of die down. And when they die down, the woman sees you for who you are, right? A fake, a facade. So instead, I'll tell you to build an actual frame. That is why I'll tell you as a man, always be on your purpose. Stop doing things for the sake of women. If you're getting money for yourself, level up the money you are getting because it is for you. It's going to afford you to have opportunities. It's going to afford you to have more options, to enjoy more things in life. Not because you're trying to impress them, right? So be on your purpose, build a solid frame. And this is how I'll summarize that statement. It says like this: act like you're the main, you're acting a movie, you're shooting a movie, you're the main character, and there's a role to be played, maybe as a partner. She can come and play that role, but she is not to alter the plot twist. She's not to alter the script. She's not to alter the movie line itself, the storyline. But a lot of guys, they will be the main characters in their movie, right? The moment a girl walks into that scene, they say, you know what, let's rewrite the script. And in that moment, things begin to fall apart. They stop going to the gym. They stop leveling up. They start spending money unnecessarily, right? I'm a firm believer that as a guy in a relationship, you have to spend. But even though you're not spending a lot, even those little dates, they take your time, they take your money. So yes, as to some extent, all relationships cost something, right? Relationships and dating, they cost you something. So when you don't have that frame, when you have that frame of, oh, I am building all these assets just to be with her, bro, it's a very big fuck up. On the other hand, you have guys that say things like, oh, I'm doing all this after all I've done for you. No, bro, never do shit for them. Do it for you and make sure that you have a role where they come and insert themselves into. So you always have to be on your purpose. You always have to be on your grind. And bro, people don't really realize that. That shit makes you attractive as fuck when you're always on your grind. When you're always like somebody who is on a mission. Because whether I like it or not, women want to know who you are. They don't want you to brag about it, right? So if a woman sees that you always have a time, but she's leaving you because there's nothing exciting about you. But when the woman sees that, okay, this guy has time for me, but not all the time, that emotion of her missing you it begins to kick in. It begins to show that, yes, this guy actually is busy. He's building an amazing life. Now, she begins to ask herself, does she want to be part of that story or not? Now, she can begin to test you. Like, is this guy faking his purpose, right? She'll begin to distract you. Now, if you fall for the distraction and make her your priority, that's where everything begins to crumble. That's where everything begins to fall apart. So again, your purpose will always and shall always be your priority at all times. Like I said, your life is supposed to be a movie. You're the one directing the movie. So she's coming to play a role in that movie. Nothing more than that. Never just... So a lot of guys will flip this, again, through manipulation, through gaslighting, through pressure, through gimmicks and stuff, will tilt the entire storyline to suit the narrative in her head. And at that moment, things begin to fall apart. And that's why I think there's a phrase that I saw someday. It says, a lot of men, they die by 1,000 paper cuts. You see those tests that women give to you, even a test of hold my bag in public. Nah. At first, I used to have that idea of holding the bag in public, but I kind of realized that, nah, it sounds romantic in their head, right? But it's a way of, it's just little tests, and before you know it, the test increases. Another test that goes around is scenario-based test, right? Where I see women who are housewives for their husbands. On certain days now, they are housewives. What that means is they don't go anywhere. They are home. And one day she says she wants to prepare instant noodles for her husband. And it's like, why would the fuck would you prepare instant noodles for him? Maybe she's like, that's It's a test because the moment you eat that noodles, tomorrow she begins to not cook for you again. She begins to feel like you can basically, she can get away with anything. And before you know it, time and time again, women want men. It's not ironical that women want men that are capable of cheating, but will not cheat. The real reason behind that is because being capable as a man, right, is very attractive. When you have options, again, when you have options and you are not afraid to, not you don't flex your options, but you know the options are there, it's very attractive. This is what I tell you as a guy, you cannot stop leveling up. And if you do it for them, guess what? You fucked up badly, you have already lost. Another tip I'll give to you is what stoicism. Be stoic as fuck, right? Be stoic to realize that emotions would always come, emotions would always go. But regardless, you have yourself, you need yourself. You need clarity. And one thing I always tell myself is every time I'm emotional now, be it happy or be it angry, I tell myself, wait until clarity comes. Because when you're stoic, again, when you're stoic around women, and whether I like it or not, women actually like men that are stoic. Because it makes you firm. It makes you firm in everything you do. It makes you firm in your choices. It makes you firm in the way you move. It makes you extra confident. But most guys lack all these things because most men are out there trying to please. They are trying to buy this narrative of, if I please her, she'll make my life easier. No. If you're building something, women, they want to fit into that role of what you are building. That's why I tell you, that's why I always see guys that fall victim for this thing. And mostly guys that don't have purpose. And mostly guys that either fake their purpose, they listen to all these fake online gurus telling them to be busy. No. Level up, brother. Do things for you. And what I'm saying is, deal with your insecurities. Because when women know that you have insecurities, they always prey on that shit. That is where manipulation always starts, and it gives them room for manipulation. So how do you deal with your insecurities? I've made videos on that, right? How do you deal with your insecurities? Either work on them or you embrace them. You can't do anything about them. So deal with your insecurities. And last thing I'll say is, as you level up, you will always have options. Never get rid of your options. Not as a way of playing games with her, but those options, again, a woman wants to know that she won. What that means is, women have a game they play in their head. You know what? After, with this guy is so attractive, he has like 100 girls circling around him, but I won. Women want to see that they won a man who is legit. So they will test you, they will see if you're going to fold. But if you don't fold, if you keep those options around, but you're not, well, keep the options around, bro, she'll be very grateful. They don't have problems sharing men, but they kind of have problems as being the number one who was there first, but they don't mind sharing men. So, bro, something my father made me realize, though. My name is Tonoraya. I'll tell you as a guy, you have to level up, do things for you, not do them for women. And when women come into your life, never fold for them. Because the moment you fold is the moment she begins to say that you are weak, you're not worth it, and before you know it, she's out as fast as she can. My name is Tonoraya. Share this video with somebody who you know will find you helpful. Talk to you soon, and bye for now, brother.